Hi.
Hello,
Welcome back to After Dark with Books. I'm Melissa,
I'm Amanda.
and we're going to be talking about Fourth Wing today. The big Fourth Wing series, Iron Flame. Oh my gosh, I could not wait for book three, Onyx Storm. Let's get into it. So, what were your thoughts on Fourth Wing?
Well, I've had it on my TBR for a long time. I didn't really know if it was my vibe. And then when you said let's do Fourth Wing for our next buddy read, I was like, I don't know if I want to do this. I don't know how I'm going to handle it. But then I found the audiobook and I was like, okay, I'm going to give it a try.
Yeah,
Didn't
so
understand the beginning. Didn't understand the beginning quite. But when I got into it, I was gone.
exactly. Like, I kept seeing everybody talk about Fourth Wing and this and that, and I'm like, why do I want to read a book on some dragons? Like, really? And then I was like, okay, let me do this audio and read with the book because I've seen people read with the book or listen to the audio. I know there's a lot of controversy on auto books. They say it's not really reading, but in my eyesight, it's reading. Whatever. They can go screw themselves. Anyways, so yeah, I really liked Fourth Wing. I loved it. Like, I should have listened to the audio, the first book, the way you listened to it instead of just the regular narrator.
Oh
I
yeah,
so
because I listened to the one with the full cast.
Yeah, and I did not do that, and I'm kicking myself. I really want to go back and just reread the first one so I can hear all the steps and everything. Oh my gosh. But the second one when I did it that way, amazing. And if you guys have not read Fourth Wing, girl, she thick. She thick. But we read those books in what was it? 3 days?
A fourth wing, I want to say 3 days for me because you read before me, so it took you 4 days because you were ahead of me, and then I caught up to you, and then
Okay.
and you and I were at the same spot, so about 3 or 4 days.
Yes. And mind you, Fourth Wing is what, over 600 pages?
Yes.
Yeah. So that tells you we were in love with it. In love. Biggest book hangover I have ever had. I thought I had a book hangover after reading Quicksilver. I'm like, Quicksilver who?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So, and you were like, you're like, I love Dane. Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. If you have not read Fourth Wing or Iron Flame, we will be giving away spoilers. So come back to this episode after you read the books.
We'll probably put it in the description too that there's going to be
Yes.
spoilers because a lot don't put spoilers, so this one will have spoilers in the
Yes, I'll make
description.
sure to put it, especially if you're watching us on YouTube. But you were like, oh my gosh, I love me some Dane or Dane, whatever. And I'm just like, mm hmm. Keep on reading. Just like, keep on reading.
Yeah, I thought he was sweet. I mean, it was gonna. I thought it was gonna be a fairy tale book. You
I
know, they grew up together. They fall in love. They do dragons together. That's what I thought in the beginning.
I did too. So I'm not gonna lie. When I first started reading, I was like, oh my gosh. And then once I got further along, I was like, oh no. No, boo boo. He needs to go bye bye. Cause and then that parabit, I would have died. I just would have fell off. There's just no way I could have crossed that parabit. And the wind, how they were describing the wind, I bet you could hear all that through the
Yeah,
dramatic.
because it was almost like they were climbing up, right, or
I
climbing
thought that
sideways.
they were like, to me, I thought so. They were kind of climbing up against a wall, but then after a while, I thought they were like just going straight.
I sounded like they were climbing because she dropped her shoe or something. I think
Okay,
if I remember.
see, because you read it the movie way, and I read it with the regular narrator, so I
Mhm.
didn't get to hear that experience. To me, it sounded at first like they were climbing, like going around, but then it sounded like they were going like across.
Yeah,
So
yeah, across or up.
Yeah. And then I thought that was really nice of her to like switch her shoes with her friend so her friend wouldn't fall off because all you kept hearing, well, you probably heard it because it's a dramatic way, but like people are just falling off of that parapet. And I was like, oh my God.
Screaming,
I was like,
screaming.
how do you like, why do you have to go through all this just to get to the other side? That is so crazy. And then how like they were like, because Violet, they describe her as like this really like petite, small person. Like she's not that big of a person, and how like she was like always getting in fights and this and that. And I was like, oh my God, I thought this poor girl was not gonna make it.
Well, I think the reason why she is such a fragile person is because I think she was born prematurely, and premature babies are, some of them have brittle bones or
Mm-hmm.
whatever. And
That's
I think
true.
her mother was sick too. That's why
Yes.
we'll get into a different, I don't know if we'll do it in this podcast or another one, but what her father had done.
Yes. That's right.
That's what I'm thinking. That's what I've been seeing, and I think that's going to be my own when we go into book
Mm-hmm.
three, and then I'll be like, oh, okay, I was right or I was wrong when we go into book three and find out.
Yeah. And then there's a lot of like spectrum like uh I cannot pronounce the little dragon's name. Well, she's not so big or so small anymore. Um, how she's like a her tail. I don't know if we want to get into that now or part two. I don't
Uh,
know. I don't
oh,
know. I
what was it? Was it a feathered tail or a
Yeah,
wing?
but they're calling it something else now. Like a Oh my gosh, they're calling it like with venom, like a venom, like tail or whatever. So I don't know. There's just so many crazy theories out there on how like the dad was Venom, and then uh when Violet's mom was pregnant with her, she was Venom, and then they had to get a cure and this and that. So I'm just like, what is going on here? So
Yeah, there was a lot going on. She does what I like with the author, and I've seen with the author is she leaves you on a cliffhanger.
oh my gosh, yes.
Okay, and then in the next book, she 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 clears up the cliffhanger and Iron Flame, and then a new drama or new battle comes up. So we finish with book one with a cliffhanger, but it in book two it finishes the story, and then
It
we're off with another one.
It did, but at the end, I was for book two. We'll get into more of book two, but just this one part, the end, I was crying, mad, laughing, all at the same time. I was really mad the way the story led. I was just like, but I get it. She had to give us some type of cliffhanger to be able to be looking forward to book three, which is Onyx Storm, which will be out in January. What was it, 21st?
I
So
cried a lot in book one. I've never cried in a fantasy book in my whole entire life like I did
I
book
don't
one.
think I've ever cried in a book. I was so sad when um what was it? Liam. Oh, that did it for me. I was like, what?
And I don't know if you could go back and listen to it because that's gonna tear you up the way that he dies.
Because the way because you could hear everything.
And it's almost like you're picturing him, and then you hear the roar of his dragon crying out too.
Oh wow, see, yeah, I didn't get to hear that. I probably would be like engulfed in tears with
I
that
was
part.
in tears the
Yeah,
whole time.
that's I was like, oh my goodness. But then, okay, skirt. Let's go back because I totally forgot. So after the whole Dane thing, Zayden. Oh my gosh, Zayden. They describe this character as this tall, dark hair, tan skin, full of tattoos, just
The
from head.
relic tattoo right here, right?
Yes, like his whole like neck and stuff is tatted, and I just love the nickname he gave her. At first, I was just like, "Oh no, here we go with another nickname."
Oh yeah,
But
because you don't like books with nicknames.
I don't. But this nickname, I can get down with. This was cool, and I just, oh my gosh, it was amazing. At first, he was an ass. Oh, he was an ass, but there was reasons because of what.
The history with her mother.
Yeah, what I cannot believe her mom did that to him, to all of them. And I don't really understood the whole story. Was it because it was their parents that did something bad?
No, I think it's almost like their parents were sacrificed or something. I would almost guarantee, if not a hundred, well, I'm not even going to put it out there, but I would almost guarantee later in the future when these books wrap up,
Hmm.
well, book, that there might be a prequel. A
Maybe,
prequel
possibly.
explaining what happened to Jack's parents, what happened to Zayden's parents, what happened to the dad, what happened to, I wouldn't be, or maybe that's going to be in the later books in the future.
Maybe because I know there's gonna be like a total of 5 books,
Right.
and then we're gonna get a TV show. All I have to say about that TV show, they better get these characters on point. On point. I get it. I know the author Rebecca Yarros. Yarros. I'm so sorry if I'm butchering her last name, but I know she wants to be diverse. I totally understand that. I get it, but you better not. This is 18 and over. You better not fuck up Zayden, okay? Because the way he's described in that book,
Yeah.
he needs to be, because there's going to be a bunch of us that are going to be pissed off if the characters are not right. I picture the friend, Violet's friend, being of color. I do picture her of color. And then Zayden, I picture him of color, but like a major, like what? What do you picture him as?
Tan. I can't quite put like a race on him, but like a
I
tan.
can.
A tan. Real
It's
tan.
the I'm gonna butcher it, but I'm thinking of it in my head. Starts with an M, like
Middle Eastern.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting of Zayden, and then Violet. She's pale, right? Yeah, I think she's pale, and then I picture her only being like 5 feet, 5 feet tall. Really,
Yeah, and skinny.
very petite and
Not
long.
too skinny because in the book Zayden describes her as being a little curvy.
Yeah, not like really skinny, but like petite but curvy. That's how I see her. And then her friend, what was it? It starts with an R. Her name. Why?
Rope Brayden, something like that.
Yeah, I picture her like not too tall, average height, braids or
Oh
whatever.
yeah, braids.
Person of color. And then Liam, he was blonde, I believe, right? Or am I getting him mixed up with Dane?
Dane I picture blonde. Liam I picture with brown hair, kind of tall. Not as tall as Zayden,
Zayden.
but not as short as Zayden.
No, I picture Zayden like over 6 feet tall, like tall.
Zach, or not Zach, Jack I picture him with blonde hair.
Yes.
Blonde, like messy blonde hair, and it's like probably like to here. And
Uh
he's
huh.
not real lengthy, but not real skinny, but not too buff.
Like bulky kind of
Yeah.
type thing. And then what else? Cuz and then there's the other one too. Imogene? Is her name Imogene? Is that in the second book?
The scroll writer.
Yes. She doesn't like Violet. But then they become
Oh,
like
Imogene, yes,
become cordial.
Zayden's friend. Yeah, Imogene.
Yeah, I picture her with short hair and very like tattoos. Well, I picture him with all tattoos, but not as much as Zayden. I picture him like besides his face, like neck down, arms fully tatted. That's how I picture him.
Yeah,
Cause just the way they described him in the book. So I love this book. I want to just go back and reread it.
I
it
think I want to. Maybe I'll do that for Christmas before the book comes out, so I'm all in the world. So when book 3 comes out, I'm already in the
Bam.
world. I'm
Yep.
ready.
I'm ready for book 3. Why can't we have it like today, like now? Like
And
I
then we
want.
have to wait
I
for book 4 and
know.
5.
I hopefully we don't have to wait that long, cuz we need our fourth wing fix, okay?
I've
So,
never been so obsessed with a book, and well, I have my favorite like other books, but this book tops them all. I think this is my 2024
oh it
favorite
is.
books.
Oh it is cuz I thought like Quicksilver, oh Quicksilver's good. This and that. Quicksilver is good. We will have a probably an episode on Quicksilver as well cuz that was a good book too. But Fourth Wing? Oh, I'm sorry, nothing is topping this. Nothing. Uh-uh.
Quicksilver, speaking of Quicksilver, Quicksilver's audiobook is supposed to be released, if I'm not mistaken, by the end of this month.
Yes, the 25th. I think it's on the 25th. It is supposed to be released. But and then like with Quicksilver and Fourth Wing, there's a lot of world building. So
Yes.
you got to take that in part too when you're reading fantasy. It's not like bam bam bam, let's get into it. No, no, no.
Like romance or rom com. Rom com already sets the mood for you, but with fantasy, it has to build.
It has to build. And so I think that's what my problem was getting into Quicksilver and a little bit of Fourth Wing too. At first I was just like, ooh, this is a lot. But then I have to realize this is a fantasy. This is world building like Lord of the Rings or Harry Potter or, those types of books and or movies. But I have to say I really enjoyed it. If you guys have not read Fourth Wing, we highly suggest you read it. I even have my daughter reading it. And I am bedazzling. Once my bedazzle book is done, I will definitely be showing you guys here on the episode because it's a lot of work, but it is beautiful.
Yeah, it is. Maybe
It,
we should do a whole episode on your bedazzling because that is a lot of work.
yes, and a lot of like I bought a candle of Zayden. She stank. She stank. I'm just being honest. She stank. It's like this. I don't even know. It's like this. It's hard for me to explain it, but it's like leather, and there's just like too much leather in there, and I was like, what are we doing? And but I do want to get the violet candle. I have to have all the things Fourth Wing, all the things.
Do you know that they make and sell on Amazon the book sleeves, Fourth Wing for like $13, and they zip up?
No, do
Yeah,
I need that?
I almost sent it to you. They even make a little like handbag purse like this for
That I
fifteen
probably would
dollars.
not use. That no, but the little book cover thing, do I need that? Because
I'll
at
just send it to you.
okay, yeah, because at Barnes and Noble, I forgot to show it in my video on my TikTok. They had a journal. They had a journal of Fourth Wing. I was this close, but the little square thing that I picked up was like $25, and I was like,
Yeah, I
dang,
saw that. That was expensive.
no. So I didn't see the price of the journal, but it's Fourth Wing. I have to add it to my collection on my bookshelf.
Are you gonna paint your bookshelves black and gold?
No, but I am really wanting black bookshelves instead of white. I think I want the black ones. I think because the books, all books, will stand out for them. So, I don't know.
Especially with all the sprayed edges you've been buying lately.
Yes, we will get into the sprayed edges. If we are
Oh
team sprayed
yeah.
edge or team not sprayed edge, I'm team sprayed edge all the way. Give me all the sprayed edge.
I like the sprayed edges. Now at Costco they're selling these sprayed edge not the sprayed edges, but the fourth wing that you're bedazzling.
Uh
They're
huh.
selling that at Costco for $12.
Oh, yes. You must get that. If you want me to bedazzle, I can even bedazzle it for you. It's,
Do a whole episode.
Yes. I just really, I don't think I've ever been obsessed with, especially a book. Now, I've liked books and stuff, but not like this. This is a whole nother level.
It
Or
is.
a whole nother level. And if it wasn't for Amanda, because she's been reading a lot and we found each other through Instagram, through coffee, and she would post books, and then I was just like, you know what, I'm going to try this. And now I've been hooked ever since. I think I started back reading what? It was in July of this year. So not very
Yeah,
long.
because that's when we read Quicksilver together.
Yep. And
June or
then,
July.
yep, because I read Pen Pal. And if you guys haven't read Pen Pal, just go
I
sit on my
listened to the
face.
audiobook washing dishes, so let me just say that that was a whole new experience. Sit on my face.
Sit on my face. Yes. So if you guys have not read Pen Pal, Quicksilver, Fourth Wing, are you guys sitting under a rock? Please go pick up these books. Read
Yeah.
them. Read them through audio. Listen to them. Uh, I don't know. Just go read them. They're good. They're really good. So I guess we'll talk about the second book in our next episode because we want to keep you guys hanging on our thoughts and
Yeah, but definitely read
speculations.
Fourth Wing. I highly recommend it. Listen to the audiobook, the
Mm-hmm.
full cast. It really changes gets you really in tuned in it. But on the that audiobook, it doesn't say all the words. It leaves out certain phrases.
Yes.
So just be mindful if you're reading along with the book and you're listening. It doesn't say all the
Word
phrases.
from word. It
Yeah.
skips. So yeah, and then we found ours on Hoopla. So just download the Hoopla app and just get a library card and go from there. I do not, me personally, I do not how do you say, uh I don't like Libby because Libby, there's like one copy and like 200 people are waiting for that copy. So just get on Hoopla, download Hoopla app, and you can find so many books on there.
Well, that's how I was with Gothicana, however you say that. I
Hmm.
was on hold, still on hold, and I said, "Well, just screw it. I'm just gonna spend the 14.99 and just buy it." So I did.
Yeah. That's another book we will be having. It'd probably be like episode 3 or 4. We need to talk about Gothiana because Gothiana, she a weird one. She a weird one. She a little weird,
And her friends were too.
but she is really really pretty.
Hmm.
I took the cover off, but that's what the hardcover looks like. But she's really really pretty, purple edges.
Oh, that
So
is pretty.
I'm a sucker for oh, I'm all
Yeah,
up in this.
yeah.
I'm a sucker. But yeah, there is the cover. There's
I'm
nothing
glad you're
fancy.
showing the covers of the books because maybe we'll put inserts
Yeah, if we can
in.
get the inserts, that would be even better. But yeah, so I highly recommend you read Fourth Wing.
Yeah, you'll love Zayden. You'll fall in love with him. You'll love to hate him.
Yep.
I like that they could read each other's or get into each other's minds.
Oh, I know when they were sitting at the table. That's another thing. Totally forgot about that. They're sitting at the table, and she's like, "Wait, what? You can hear my thoughts?" I'd be like, "Get out of my head."
Remember what she told him?
Violence. Kind of.
Oh, I remember
Go ahead.
something about pulling down your pants, and he spits out his food.
Yes, and there people are like, "What's going on?"
Hmm.
But I think it's cool because they're
They're
Zayden,
connected.
his dragon, Sigel, and
Sigel.
Taryn, and Violent of Violence. Well, that's her nickname. Violet. They're all four connected, so they can all hear each other's thoughts, and I think that's really cool. And that's really good during the battle when they're in the battlefield and stuff and fighting.
Yeah,
But yeah,
yeah.
go read it. And thank you for tuning in for this week's episode. We're going to have a part 2 for Iron Flame because we don't want you guys to be bored. And So we'll take that to the next episode.
I think Iron Flame was a little bit more dramatic.
Yes, a lot more going on in that book. It's a good thing though. It's really good. And then I will make
A
sure.
lot of tough things in that book too. If you listen to the audiobook, there was a lot of tough things going on in Iron Flame too that we'll discuss in our next podcast.
Yes. And all links to my pages, Amanda's pages, and After Dark with Books page I will all link it down if you're listening to it and watching it on YouTube. It will be linked in the description box. So thanks again, and we will see you next week.
Thank you.
Bye.